Right, so as always, all praises goes to the Most High God, Yahweh, in the name of His only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai. It's your brother Azan,
Soldier Yabasham.
and we're gonna go to a topic, right, called family first. Family first, you know, because just kind of through the spirit, I saw, those words, and it just made me think, that's something in the world that people talk about, and there's no problem talking about family first. But then somehow when you kind of what's the word? Make it more macro because Israel is a big family, right? When you start talking about, a nationality of people, that's where, it becomes a problem. So I just want to kind of stick to the family first mentality, and kind of just improvise that through the spirit, Lord willing to be edifying. So let's start in 1 Corinthians 14 and verse 40.
All right, this is the book of First Corinthians, chapter 14, and verse 40. Let all things be done decently and in order.
Right. So the Apostle Paul is making that point, right, to let all things be done decently and in order. So that's something that the Most High, he's about order. I mean, he set these nations of people in their own order, right? So understanding that there is an order to everything, right? Hey, man, family first. Your family comes first, right? Anyone who's a family man, you could appreciate those words. You put your family first, man. If you have children, your children come before just any old child, and that's just what it is. It's nothing wicked about that. No one has a problem with those statements of putting your family first. You know what I'm saying? But with that being said, right, we're gonna go into the scriptures and understanding that as people, right, you kind of take the microscope glass off of your direct family and you kind of look a little bit more of a broad perspective. As a nation of people, we're really just one big family, right? Let's get that Leviticus 19 and we'll read 17 and 18.
Come. This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 19, and verse 17. Thou
Mm-hmm.
shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart. Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor and not suffer sin upon him.
Read.
Verse 18, thou shalt not avenge nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people, but thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. I am the Lord.
Hey man, this is likened to the greatest commandment, according to who the world calls Christ, Yahweh Shai. And this letting is powerful. We see, all right, a few things we could take from it, would be one, your neighbor would be the children of your people, right? We could actually go into the Bible Hub on this one. I should have had it pulled up already because this one kind of hits better. I want to say it's the New Living Translation, but let me see. Leviticus 19 and 17, or might be verse 18 that I want. So okay, let me see something. Yeah, so I got it pulled up if unless you had it as well in a New Living Translation.
John, I
If you could
read
get that for me.
Leviticus 19:18 in the NLT.
Hmm.
Do not seek revenge or bear a grudge against a fellow Israelite, but love
Hmm.
your neighbor as yourself. I am the Lord.
Right. So your neighbor is your fellow Israelite, right? And that's speaking to Israelites, right? And we understand that the law was given to Israelites, but that's a whole nother point. Family comes first. That means your people comes first. You know what I'm saying? The children of your people, right? Like the King James says, right? So okay, why is this thing pulled up? But right, it gets the children of your people. You know, that's who your neighbor is. That's who your brother is, right? Let me see that word in the Hebrew. That word for brother, right? I believe is ban. Load for me, right? In the Hebrew, ak, right? Like shalom, ak, right? Brother, same parents, half brother, relative, kinship of same tribe. Each to it says each to the other, right? Reciprocal relationship, right? So it says used in a widest sense of literal relationship and metaphorical affinity resemblance. You know, Let me get that word. While we're on it, let's just go to neighbor. I'm going to see that in the Hebrew. Rai, friend, companion, fellow citizen. Okay. I want to probably get a little well in, let me see. I'm curious as what it says in the Greek. So let's get that one in, which one do I want? Let's get First John, um, the fourth chapter. And start at verse 20.
Um, this is the book of First John, chapter 4, and verse 20.
Mhm.
If a man say, I love God, and hateth his brother, he is a liar. For he that loveth not his brother whom he hath seen, how can he love God whom he hath not seen?
Right. So, hey man, that's that's playing upon tables, man. Your brother, right? Which is we read in Leviticus 19. That's synonymous with your neighbor, right? Depending on the context. Of course, you have literal brothers, right? But if we descend from the same father, quote unquote, then we would be brothers, right? And that's just we already know that, right? But so-called Christian, they would try to, create confusion by saying, "Oh yeah, we're brothers in Christ." Well, in the Bible, you can't find that. That's nowhere to be found in the text. But I got pulled up in the Greek, right? The word for brother, adelphos, a brother, whether born of the same two parents or only of the same mother or father. I like this one, having the same national ancestor,
Mm.
belonging to the same people or countrymen. See that? So that's who your brother is, right? Even in the world, especially I want to say back in the day, more so, in the 70s, they used to be, hey, brother, that was kind of like what our people used to say. Or even now they'd be like, oh yeah, that's a brother, that's kind of more, old school how they used to talk to each other, sister, she's a sister, right? You ain't gonna say
Now,
that about no Becky. What you gonna
now,
say?
now it's like, bro. How they say, bro,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah, bro. Right, bro. You know what I'm saying? But you ain't gonna say that about a Karen. She's not a sister. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Tim, that's not your brother. That's not your. You know what I'm saying? That's not bruh. But the point remains. Your family comes first. That's what the scriptures letting you know when it comes to loving your brother. That's what the Lord tells you have to do. You have to love your brother or your neighbor, your fellow Israelite, like you love yourself. You don't have to do that with any other people. You don't got to do that to a Hamite, Moabite, right? Edomite. You know what I mean? That's really what the Bible tells us. You know, in the text, it's telling you to love your fellow people, not anybody else. You know what I mean? But somehow you fast forward to today, and it's a problem that you want to put your people first. That you want to put your family first. You had anything to add?
La.
Let's get Ecclesiastes, Slakia, Sirach, the 13th chapter, and verse 15. And we'll also read 16.
It's the book of Sirach, chapter 13, verse 15. Every beast loveth his like, and every man loveth his neighbor.
Read.
All flesh consorteth according to kind, and a man will cleave to his like.
All right. All flesh consorteth to kind, right? That's something that naturally, you look at nature, all right, how the Most High created things, and that's just how it works, right? There's nothing wicked about it. The Most High created nations, right? He created so-called black people, right? So-called Latinos, Native American people, right? Which they would be the Israelites of the Bible. Then he created other nations of people, right? Ishmaelites, hey, they cleave to their like, right? Ishmael, they don't they see the outsider, they're gonna look at you different than they look at their own people, and that's just what it is. Most High made it like that, you know. But somehow we can't do that. You know what I'm saying? Other nations could do it, and no one's gonna going to think twice about it, right? But a so-called black man does that, right? With a so-called Native American, so-called Latinx. I don't know. That's the new term, right? They try to label us Latinx now, you
Mm.
know, but now it's a problem, you know. Nah,
Yeah,
man, we're gonna go by what the Bible says. You gonna say something?
yeah. In the GNT, it sounds even more clear.
Bring it up.
It says every creature prefers its own kind, and people are no different. Just as animals of the same species flock together, so people keep company with people like themselves.
See, beautiful thing, man. Thousands of years ago, that's that wisdom, that the son of Sirach was bringing out. That's just how it is, man. That's just how it is, and there's nothing wicked about it, right? I mean, it shouldn't be, even when it comes to certain evil acts, if you want to look at it technically, right? Because evil just goes into a bad time. Us being in slavery, that was just an evil or bad time, right? But even looking at that, the Most High, He creates all things, man. He controls all things, including slavery, you know. But we'll get there. We'll get there, Lord willing. Actually, no, we on it. Might as well go ahead and jump to it. I was going to kind of close out there. Um, we understand them curses, so we're not even gonna go there. But anyone who's super new, I advise brothers to go to Deuteronomy 28. We could probably get it, but I want to start in Leviticus 25 and verse 44, and we'll read to 46.
It's the book of Leviticus, chapter 25, and verse 44.
Mhm.
Both thy bondmen and thy bondmaids, which thou shalt have, shall be of the heathen that are round about you. Of them shall ye buy bondage men and bondsmaids.
Yeah, so we're talking about in the law that was given. This is the Mosaic law, which is synonymous with the law of God, right? So the Israelites were told or commanded when it comes to having bondmen and bondmaids, which we could go another translation. That's another word for a servant or a slave, right? So they it says shall be of the heathen, right? The heathen in the Hebrew, all right, gawaya, right? Which that's a blanket term, but that's a non-Israelite. And we're gonna read down and we'll understand why we know, that's not talking about an Israelite. Continue on.
Verse 45. Moreover, the children of the strangers that do sojourn among you, of them shall ye buy, and of their families that are with you, which they begot in your land, and they shall be your possession.
Right, the children of the stranger, not the children of thy people, but the children of the strangers, them shall ye buy, right? And they shall be your possession. Right? Read on.
Verse 46. And ye shall take them as an inheritance for your children after you, to inherit them for a possession. They shall be your bondmen forever, but over your brethren, the children of Israel, ye shall not rule one over another with rigor.
Right. Over your brethren, the children of Israel, we shall not rule over with rigor. Right. But the children of the stranger, right, the heathen, we could do that, man. We can inherit them for our children after us, man. It says that we could for our people, right? We could go up, right, and it goes into the laws, right? We could have our people in servitude for 7 years, and if they want to remain our slaves after that, or servants, by all means. But when it comes to a heathen, nah, man, we could have them slavery for forever and ever. You know what I'm saying? And that's
Uh,
just what the law says, man. Family first. Family first, man. That's a righteous thing, man. And we're going to be keeping this law in the kingdom. I'll tell you that. Hey man, this is a law that hey man, a lot of us, when we woke up into this truth, we understand how judgment works, right? We know Revelation 13 and 10, right? He that leadeth to captivity shall go into captivity, right? So us being put in, the Israelites, right, being put on cargo slave ships, right, to be sold as slaves, right, bondmen and bondwomen. That's actually let's go there. One of our favorite scriptures to bring out, right? Deuteronomy 28 and 68. And then I make the point. Yeah, really just got a couple more.
Go ahead, read. All right, this is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships by the way whereof I spoke unto thee. Thou shalt see it no more again, and there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you.
Right. So the Israelites will be sold to our enemies, right? For bondmen, bondwomen, which we know that's talking about a slave, right? So this is something that one of the curses, all right, describes is going to happen to the children of our people, right? The Israelites, today, so-called Blacks, Latinos, right? This would be a sign, like what verse 46, 47 goes into. These curses are a sign, really, to let us know who the Israelites are, right? The Israelites are going to be under these curses, you know. But the beautiful thing, right? Deuteronomy 30 and 7 tells us that those same curses that we're going through is going to be transferred to the enemy, right? The enemies that we're going to be sold unto. Let's actually go there. Um, how are we on time? Let me see. Oh yeah, we good. We good on time. You get a Deuteronomy 30 and 7.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 30 and verse 7. And the Lord thy God will put all these curses upon thine enemies and on them that hate thee, which persecuted thee.
Gone. So the curses, right, that we're under right now, hey man, it's an order to prophecy. We start at the top, right? It starts with us calling them to mind, right? The blessings and curses, right? We're gonna turn to the Most High, right? We're gonna repent, right? And then, hey man, Most High is gonna turn our captivity, man, right? Gather us, right? The Israelites, right? From there, right? Hey man, we're gonna get that new covenant, and it leads to those curses. Hey man, they're gonna deal with that, man. It goes back into what we brought out in Leviticus 25. They're good. Hey man, we're gonna keep that law. We're definitely gonna keep that one along with all the other laws, right? And that's all praises for that. But this is where a Christian, they would have a problem, right? But they don't have a problem with Lord willing, I'm gonna probably run this lesson at camp. But I'm gonna ask, hey, do you believe in family first? Most people they don't have no problem with that. They're not gonna say, oh no, everybody first, not family first, everybody first, right? All right. So if you believe in family first, do you know that Israel is a family? Right? Let's get Genesis 49. And the point is in verse 28.
It's the book of Genesis, chapter 49 and verse 28. All these are the 12 tribes of Israel, and this is it that their father spoke unto them and blessed them. Every one according to his blessing, he blessed them.
Right. So if you go into the history of Israel, right, as a man, or nation, right, the history of it starts with, hey man, Genesis 25. We could get that. Two nations are in the womb, right? You have the man Jacob. His name was changed to Israel. This is at chapter 32. Just roughly, going over it, right? A brief summary. Understanding that this is a family, right? One man had 12 sons, right? And those sons became the tribes of Israel. Those sons had children, and then they eventually became a nation, right? But this is a family, literally, right? One father, all right, with his wife, of course, and he had 12 sons, right? He also had a daughter. We don't really get that a whole lot. Let's go there. Let's go to Genesis. I want to say it's the 38th chapter. We're gonna get the daughter of Israel as well, because this kind of goes along with the topic of family first. This is how us as people, we got to back to this. this energy, right? So Genesis 38 and start at verse. You know what? This is not the chapter. This is not the one I'm thinking about.
Man, you were breaking. I don't know if you were breaking up or if I was breaking up a little bit.
Oh, Slovakia. It was chapter 34.
34.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Uh,
Okay.
no, you're still breaking up.
Mic check.
No.
Okay. Mic check, mic check.
Mm-mm.
And, mic check, mic check.
All right, you good now?
I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know what's up with the internet in here, so Salakia. We was actually almost done anyway. Let me see. Genesis 34. Let's just get to the point in verse 31. Yeah, just get the last scripture. 31.
Go on. It's the book of Genesis, chapter 34 and verse 31. And they said, should he deal with our sister as with a harlot?
Right. So family first, right? You go to the top of the chapter, his sister ended up getting taken by a Hamite, right? Specifically, I want to say it's a Canaanite, right? And then he was trying to get with her, he was really trying to marry her and everything, but the brothers wasn't having that. You know what I'm saying? Long story short, they put him and his people to death. You know what I'm saying? Because they wasn't having that. But I advise if brothers want to read that, that's hey man, that's the one person who was an Israelite that didn't come from one of the sons of Jacob. You know what I mean? So, it's a good story. Just right there. But let me see. Mic check. You can still hear me?
Come on, you good.
Get Genesis 20 Slocky. Genesis 10 and verse 5.
Come on. The book of Genesis, chapter 10 and verse 5. By these were I think it's the isles of the Gentiles,
Mm-hmm.
divided in their lands, every one after his tongue, after their families in their nations.
Right. So this is Genesis, the beginning, right? Mosai, he divided the nations. We could get that. But this is just understanding that Mosai, he put all these people right and separated them, man. Actually, well, we got to probably at least get that one. Let's get that in Deuteronomy 32 and I want to say some verse 7. Let's see if I can.
32 and 7.
There might be Salakia.
On is verse 8.
Salakia. Um, I'm trying to share the screen again. Maybe almost done, but I just want to share the screen. You hear echo?
Yeah, I did. Not anymore.
Okay, good. So Deuteronomy 32. Probably want to get at least one more before we close out. You get Deuteronomy 32 in verse number 8.
It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 32, and verse 8. When the Most High divided to the nations their inheritance, when he separated the sons of Adam, he set the bounds of the people according to the number of the children of Israel.
That's right. Most High, he divided, man. He separated, right, the sons of Adam, right? And it says here, he set the bounds of the people according to the number of the children of Israel, you know? So Most High, he's about division, man, within nations of people, right? But that nation, if you go into again, every nation you see today, it stemmed from a particular family, you know? So putting your family first, right? That's not just something that's new. We see that in the scriptures, right? And those same families, those same families, turned into a whole nation of people. What you got, bro?
It's the book of Amos, chapter 3, and verse 1. Hear this word that the Lord hath spoken against you, O children of Israel, against the whole family which I brought up from the land of Egypt.
Mm-hmm.
I can give verse 2 as well.
Bring it out.
Saying, you only have I known of all the families of the earth. Therefore I will punish you for all your iniquities. Brother cut out.
Mike, check.
Con.
Yeah, Slakia. Yeah. Read that verse 2 for me.
Con. Verse 2. You only have I known of all the families of the earth. Therefore I will punish you for all your iniquities.
Right. That's beautiful, man. The Most High, he says that you, speaking to the children of Israel, in verse 1, you only have I known of all the families of the earth. Right? So, hey, man, the Most High, he has his people or family that he puts first, right? We're the children of God. We're the sons of God, right? Yasha Allah, right? Yasha Allah means prince of the power, right? That's synonymous with son of God, right? These other nations, they're not children of God, right? No matter how you try to slice it, man. Christian thinks that they could somehow believe on Christ and now they're a child of God. Nah, that's not how this thing works. But that's another topic for another day. Lord willing, point has been made. You had anything else, bro?
La.
So with that, all praises goes to the Most High Yahweh. In the name of his only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai. Shalom.
So